For about another 4 weeks, I'm going to just be doing Wednesday videos. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Check me out on my Patreon. Otherwise, stay tuned for the video. Thanks. Hi, Crystal Balls. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please think about sticking around, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Guys, this is a wonderful free thing you can do to help support your favorite YouTubers, but also your mom and pop places, your small businesses, and your friends that are hustling. This is worth its weight in gold, and it is a free thing to do. So take about 10 seconds out of your day and do that, not just for me, but for other people. Spread that karma. Guys, this is a huge deal to people. You have no idea. I want to thank everybody who has been here with me from the beginning and everybody that is growing. Guys, I'm up to over 200 members now, and that is amazing. I know that other channels have grown quite a bit faster than mine, but I like that you guys are genuine and want to visit my little corner of the internet. And I really, really appreciate it. I don't know 200 people, so this is particularly amazing. So, if you guys are new or haven't watched all of my older videos, I am doing giveaways for every 100 up until we get to 1,000. I'm giving away two things. Once you hit 100, I gave away two things. Now that we hit 200, I'm giving away two things, and they're going to be the same. I'm going to give away a tarot card deck and a reading. Now, I will privately get a hold of those people who will win these items or who are going to win. I don't know yet. I haven't picked the winners yet. I use one of those spinny wheels. Um, that is fair and equal for everybody, except if you've already won prizes, you can't win again. The reason I will contact them privately is because I have had people before made a mistake and said somebody's name out loud, and some idiot created a fake account and I almost fell for it. So we will no longer give out winners' names. It's, if they want to post something that they won, that's up to them, but I will not do it. So yeah, that's just a little thing to get out of the way, a little thing here. But I'm very, very grateful to everybody, and please bear with me as I go through these next several weeks. I've been almost constantly working. No joke. This is why I look this way. So today we're going to talk about Madeline McCann's mother, Kate. Now, this is going to be kind of a blind reading because she's still alive, but I can read her energy or I can talk to her spirit guides. I can talk to her daughter. I'm not using tarot cards on this particular read because I want to not be influenced by anything that I may misinterpret it via the cards that happens. But there really isn't a whole lot of information about this woman out here. She is incredibly private and open at the same time. Um, I'm not going to rehash Madeline's case. I've done a video about that already. I will put it up in the cards somewhere soon. Probably about 4 minutes or so, there'll be a card up here. Please go click on that. That is all from Madeline's perspective. So today we're going to talk about Kate. Kate was originally born Kate Healy, and she was born on, I believe it was March 5th, 1968, in, please forgive me, UK, Hewington, United Kingdom. She married Jerry in 1998, and she had in 2003. Yeah, Maddie was born in 2003 via uh, IVF treatments. I'm sorry. 2 years later, Kate gave birth to twins, Sean and Amelia. And today, I believe they are 17 years old. So, that kind of puts everything in perspective of how long this has been going on. So, Kate was obviously very well educated, and I don't know much about her family, but she did graduate from college and worked in OBGYN slash gynecology until she decided to become a GP, which is a general practitioner. So her husband, Jerry, was also in the medical area, and what I've seen and heard is they met and sparks flew and they got together and they were very much in love. Um, so, of course, we know what happened with Maddie. She disappeared without a trace in the night when people were supposedly checking on her. This was a couple's vacation or a couple's holiday that they all brought their children. So that's not unusual. I know many people who do that, but even back when this first happened, I still have never heard of parents leaving their children unattended in a room in a foreign country and have something unlocked so they can just go and do checks. I have a very difficult time believing this narrative, and I have a very difficult time believing that Madeline is alive, and that is incredibly unfortunate. I know I've discussed this before. She's crossed over. There's no way that she is alive. Now, I want to put a little bit of disclaimer on this. These people are real people, and there are no. I don't know how I would react if I lost my child, especially in a situation where they were missing. And I don't know how it would be for me to wake up every day and know that my child is gone. Now, we can assume that this is what Kate is going through and what her husband is going through. She wrote her own book. She openly has admitted that her and Jerry have had problems. And even though they are still together, there's been a huge damper in their relationship, and they almost split several times. Now, again, I don't know what type of tremendous pressure that is, but they also have the added tremendous pressure of the public. And Kate even did a Telegraph article called "The Persecution of Kate McCann," the uh, what do they call it? The unluckiest person in the world. Now, I don't want to say that she's the world's unluckiest person because there's always somebody who has something worse here. So, what I believe about Kate is she kept quiet for a reason. She ruined evidence for a reason. She lied for a reason because stories kept changing with her. She's not innocent. It doesn't mean that she killed her daughter. It doesn't mean that I think she sold her, but it doesn't mean that she murdered her kid. Um, there are 48 questions that Kate refused to answer from police that she deemed unnecessary to the case. Those questions, I will put a link in the description box, but they are very telling questions that, yeah, they would have helped the case, such as, why did you not grab the twins? Did you try to ask other people what was going on? Why did you Yeah, why did you yell from the balcony that she's missing instead of telling your friends in private? Like, there are very tough questions in there, and some of it is literally just recalling what happened from point A to point B. It's a normal questioning. And at this time, yes, of course, they were suspects. I don't know if they've ever been cleared of being suspects, but I do know that they have a huge private foundation that is meant to help bring Madeline's people to justice. Some of that has been used for homes and other sort of things. Donations that were made, yes, were misused. And that is something that's incredibly disgusting. They do have the means to be able to help out other cases. And while I've heard that they have, I've also heard many places, many people in the UK said that that is not the case and they are not helping anybody. They're hardly even helping themselves. And while all of the proceeds from the book sales went to this foundation, it doesn't really put a dent in the amount of public funding that has happened, donations and things in order to bring Madeline's killers and sellers to justice. I feel like Kate is a very disturbed person, and I feel like this happened well before her child went missing. There's something about her that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel she is in reality. In fact, it almost, when I read her energy, especially through Madeline, it makes me feel like she has a split mind where she is very much a child. It's like she doesn't understand life above maybe a 6 or 7 year old. I don't know what happened to her, but the kind of split that I'm seeing usually happens, that I have this type of split happens because of a traumatic event. Now, that could be anything from SA to a death in the family to honestly a very bad head injury. But I feel like the part of Kate that is highly intelligent cannot interact with the other part of herself. She can never be one, if that makes sense. She has these moments where she completely lives as a child. And I believe part of the reason that she never went back to being a general practitioner is because she could no longer hide that. I feel like she was having fits, some sort of fury almost. I mean, she really has a lot of odd energy around her. She's completely devoid of some feelings, but again, I don't know. I'm trying to be I'm trying to be kind, guys. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I can't with her. She seems to have arranged most of this, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. And I feel like her and Jerry were completely in on this together. I feel like they paraded Maddie around. I feel like they sold her. And I feel like this was part of the deal. They wanted fame, they got infamy. And I don't think they understood the difference. But I also feel like there was a shit ton of money that was owed, that either was their debt or their family's debt. And it was a big deal. And they could settle all of that debt very easily with their child. And um, it just feels like an enormous weight of debt. And when I say that Kate is detached and kind of split into a child, that's how she raised Maddie. Now, Maddie was only like 3, almost 4 years old when this whole situation happened, and Kate could not get on a level of a mother. She was on the level of a child. She was a child looking at a child. When the twins were born, it maybe helped her grow up a little bit, but not really. She looked at Maddie as a plaything. She was a doll. She wasn't her child. And that is so devoid of feeling. There was no love there. And I I don't know if, I mean, this isn't about Jerry. I'll read Jerry later, trust me. I don't know if Jerry felt the same way, but Kate is completely devoid of feelings as a mother. I believe she really showed that by the fact that she didn't pick up her twins and take them with her. When you look around and feel like your child is missing, but you leave your babies alone again after something supposedly happened, your child is missing. Well, let me leave my other two here and see what happens. It just doesn't make any sense to me. What also really stuck out to me is this little cuddle cat that supposedly was Madeline's. Now, I don't believe it was actually Madeline's, but the thing is, I mean, it was hers, but it wasn't like it was her special favorite toy like mom said it was. The reasons that she carried that cuddle cat around was to control this young child in her and to kind of soothe herself with this toy that I don't really think that Madeline cared about that much. It was just, it wasn't her favorite toy. Um, she might have been sleeping with it, but it wasn't her favorite toy. I don't feel like it was. I feel like there was something else. But Kate washed it and carried that damn thing with her everywhere. That was evidence. And she knowingly destroyed it. Kate is not a stupid woman. She's not. And I, while she has some issues with, whatever is going on, psychopathy, sociopath, personality, I don't know. Whatever, I'm not a doctor, I don't know. But whatever is going on with her, she knew enough to know that that was evidence and that was destroying evidence. And she did that on purpose. I have no doubt that she did that on purpose. Now, I did look up and see if there was any statute of limitations on murder, kidnapping, things like that. In the United States, there's not. Other places, it's a little, I'm not 100% sure, but since she was killed, she was killed. I'm sorry. Since she was killed in another country outside of the UK, I don't know for sure what the laws would be. But seemingly, I believe this, even though this is a cold case, you still can be tried and you can still be found guilty of murder or kidnapping and things like that. One thing that also really bothered me was Kate goes back to the scene of the crime. Praia de Luz. I'm sorry. I know, I'm sorry. It's Portuguese, right? Praia de Luz. On several occasions for personal reasons. I don't understand why in the world would a mother return to the scene of a crime, of the worst moment of her life? To me, this is very strange. It's not like she's going back to look. She's going back there for personal reasons, to recharge and to feel better. And this is stuff that is, those are her own words. And what there are people who return to the scene of a crime multiple times to relive it for disgusting reasons. And that happened in several different killers and several different people who are kidnappers and people who have done some pretty horrific things return to the scene of the crime years and years and years. Now, I've had people I love, well, killed in very bad accidents, and people have made memorials to them. I don't go back. I don't. And maybe that's just me, but there's something very vile about her going back for personal reasons. Now, it could be her trying to face it. It could be her trying to jog her memory. We all are different, but what I'm getting, what my gut is getting, what my guides are telling me, it's exactly what I think it is. It's reliving it, not for traumatic response, reliving it, or trying to face things or trying to jog your memory. She relives it because she likes it. She felt more alive in those moments than she ever had before. I want that to really sink in. She felt more alive during the traumatic events of losing her daughter and never seeing her again than she has ever felt before or since. And that includes the birth of her children, her marriage, and many other huge events in her life. Kate is no detective. She's not looking for things. She's done. She knows what happens. She knows very she knows the details inside and out, and her refusing to answer the questions would be incriminating herself in any other country. But she was completely incriminating herself. I don't know in any other country. I could be wrong. In the United States and possibly Canada. Because I really do feel like she couldn't trust herself to speak the questions or speak the answers because she didn't know them. She knew very clearly what happened, but reciting a story, she wasn't good at it. Again, her mind worked in a completely different fashion. And if this child would have come out while being questioned, a whole other kettle of fish would have opened up. And I don't think, no, she's competent. She's completely competent. Malicious, vicious, and I don't know. I keep trying to come up with something that would be like, oh yes, this is not right. This isn't out. This is incorrect. Lisa, this is wrong. But I mean, when you have a child telling you that their mother wasn't a mother, Their mother was something else, something different. And it was like I said, it's just like a whole void. This relationship between mother and child did not exist. And I'm glad that Maddie was too young to understand that. She gets it now, but she didn't understand it then. And she didn't really understand what was happening to her that day either. Her mother will die by the cross, is what I'm hearing. I think that means she's going to stick to her story until she dies, even when evidence comes up that she was involved, because she was. And again, entertainment purposes only, allegedly, um, she was involved. And I think, unfortunately, when you work in a hospital, when you work in several different places, but especially a hospital, doctor's office, things like that, you will meet some of the shadiest people. And I am talking from personal experience. When I used to work in a hospital, you really meet some of the shadiest people. And trust me, if you need organs or other things, there's always someone willing to get it if you're willing to pay. And I believe this is where Kate reunited with a trafficker. She knew this person before she had children. They came back into her life when she was a GP. This was a perfect opportunity. It was a perfect opportunity. And she told Jerry all about it, and he was ecstatic. So this woman is innocent, guys. And while I try so hard to be like, there's no way in hell I could ever put myself in that position, she put herself in this position. I don't feel sorry for her at all. I don't feel any empathy. And that says a lot because I'm an empath. And usually I can find empathy in a situation, even at its worst. And I don't feel any empathy for her. She's this voided creature that she's going to have a lot to deal with on the other side. And I don't know how else to describe her except complete void. There's nothing there. She has no love. She pretends to be human. It's almost like she's a monster. But I mean, people don't like it when I say that Dawn Wells is a monster, but he truly is. There are people on this earth that are horrific. And I don't even know what Kate is. Her energy is so odd. But I want you guys to remember that 3 innocent children were affected that day: Madeline, Sean, and Amelia. Sean and Amelia are still alive today and have been kept out of the spotlight and been very protected by Madeline. Very protected. And there's so much slack with the mom that Maddie was unlucky in this instance, that it took the disappearance of her for the twins to get parental figures. Other people are helping to raise these kids. They stepped in, and that's great. And That's what Maddie wanted. She wanted someone else to step in and help raise these kids. And if there's an illusion that Jerry and Kate raise these kids, it's not true. They've had plenty of help. And thank God for that help, because I think those kids really needed it. So, this is my first reading on Kate McCann. We will check back with her, and I'm also going to do one about Jerry. I think it's very important to look at the parental units when it comes to these types of cases. You know, this Jean Benet, Summer Wells, these are cases that unfortunately are going to go down in infamy. And like I said before, these are young, beautiful white girls that it's a actual problem that they are the ones that are paid attention to when many other children go missing and go into trafficking. So I want you guys to take time to go onto some of these sites, go to your state, take a look at the missing children. You're going to be floored. And don't assume that just because they're of a certain age that they ran away. Look at their faces. Look at them. You may be able to help them. You may know something. You may have seen them. Do yourself a favor, do families a favor, and go take a look at your state's, your country, whatever's website. Look at those children. Nobody else is. This is what we do. We try to help each other. All right, crystal balls, thank you so much for being here with me today. Hope you enjoyed this reading. Part 2 will come out later. Remember that every single day is a gift. Use your time wisely, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.